we are just about live on Facebook. Let me just check, and then we can begin.
Can you hear me?
It's a little bit of like windy, like wind noises in the back.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes. Okay. And so we are now live on Facebook. So I'll go ahead and start. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Adriana Stewart, and I'm currently a junior poli-sci sports medicine double major studying at Howard University. And I have the pleasure of serving as PawPack's social media intern. PawPack is continuing our interview series with our candidates so that you all can get to know them. And today I have the pleasure of interviewing District 27 State Senate candidate Keidra Burrell. Keidra, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for doing this. I appreciate it. And thank you to PawPack for initiating this cause. This is wonderful.
Of course. And with that, we'll go ahead and hop right into the questions. So, while we're aware that you are running for the District 27 State Senate seat, can you tell us who you are outside of politics?
Well, I'm originally from New Orleans, Louisiana. I am a wife and a mother. I have 3 children, a 17-year-old, and then I skipped and went to a 4-year-old and a 1-year-old. And so I'm a busy mom. I am an entrepreneur. I own a few businesses, and I'm a practicing attorney. I'm licensed in 3 states, and all of that just keeps me very busy. But one thing I have maintained is community involvement. And so I'm extremely involved in our community. I believe in serving our community. And so I participate in several civic organizations. And I also, am a CASA, so a court-appointed special advocate for children. So I weave throughout my life philanthropy and community service because I truly believe it's important.
That's amazing. And it kind of leads into my next question. You mentioned you are a mom of 3, so you rather have a mom, of being a small business owner, and owning multiple childcare businesses, being an attorney with practices including contracts, environmental law, and Native American law. You also mentioned you're involved in your community. And all of these fields require you to be able to listen and provide for people, similar to the role of State Senate. So can you discuss how your work with these organizations has prepared you to run for the State Senate seat and excel greatly?
Well, that's exactly what you said, is that, in order to be a good community servant, we have to be an active listener, and we have to actively participate in hearing the needs of the community and know that what we're doing as community servants is what's going to fit those needs. And so that's what I will take to the Senate. I have taken my time on the campaign trail, talking to everyone that will possibly agree to talk to me. We have knocked on as many doors as we can, and I've worn through as many pairs of shoes as I can afford to try to get to know people and get to know the needs of our district. And that's what's important. We need people that are willing to go up there and care, to go up to Little Rock, I say up there because that's up there for us, and care only about what the needs of their constituents are. And so those are the things that we need to be, aggressively pursuing resolution and solution for. And so that's what I want to do. And that's what I do in our community service. We hear the needs, we hear what's going on, and we attempt to create organizations, or we attempt to create solutions for those issues that are here in our community.
For sure. And, you touched on being able to, shine some light and represent your constituents. And as a phenomenal Black woman, can you, shine some light on some of the issues you've seen within your identifying community and how you plan to, either work to change, or just, bring emphasis or provide advocacy for these issues once you're in office?
Sure. Well, one of the things that's very dear to me on my platform is education and preschool for all. And one of the business that I own is a preschool. And so I have seen and understand the value of early childhood education in a child's life. And I don't think that early childhood education should be determined based upon their parents' income. It should be allowed for every child in our community to have the same leg up to get started and be prepared to go to big boy and big girl school, as we call it at the Audubon School. So, that's something that is dear to me. And I know that plagues women and women of color, because we have to work and we have to continue to provide for our families. But if childcare is an impediment, that will stunt what we are able to do professionally and educationally and everything else. And so not only does that, as preschool education, help the child, it helps the parent, it helps the family, because it gives that child and that family the ability to, progress and move on. Another big issue for me is healthcare. My husband is a physician, and, we see what happens when people are unable to get care. And so it's important that we not only have affordable but accessible health care. Here in rural Arkansas, we have some issues and some limitations on getting quality health care, getting specialty and subspecialty health care to our people in our community. Many times they have to travel more than an hour and a half. And so that's a coordination that takes coordination on the patient's part, who may or may not have the understanding at that point to accomplish that task. So it's just important that we start making rural health clinics more readily available for our community. So those are some of the issues that, as a Black woman, as a mother, I know that plague our community, and also would greatly assist with the progress and upward movement of Black women in our district.
For sure. And you kind of led us into our next question, which was going to ask about your platform initiative. But it's great that you mentioned that, because that does tie into, being able to identify the issues within your community. And so, some of your platform initiatives, as you mentioned, include healthcare, education, and the economy. And you kind of touched on education and healthcare, but can you kind of touch a little bit on some of your plans that involve the economy for your district?
Well, a couple of things that we have to think about is supporting small businesses, because as I've said many times before, I believe small businesses are the support and the vital infrastructure that's in place in small rural Arkansas. I know that we have industry that will come and go, but if you have a small business, for example, here in Pine Bluff, we have Sissy's Log Cabin. They're a thriving jewelry store, and they started in Pine Bluff. And they sew into Pine Bluff. And so when you have a small business like that believes and is interwoven into the community, they will donate to the community, they will sew into the workers in the community. And so it's important that we figure out a way from a state perspective to continue to support our small business, specifically through COVID relief. We have to keep a laser focus on these small businesses because they are dying. I mean, I know we own a small business here in Jefferson County, and we are struggling. We're making it, but we're struggling. And so our small businesses are struggling. So we have to figure out a way to get them some relief, and also in the long term, get them some employee tax relief, because it is tough to employ people and then you have to pay a tax on that employee. It's just difficult as a small business, and it makes it hard for me to say, oh, I can take on another employee, but I have to also consider in taking that employee on, which is another member of our community, which will pay taxes in our community and also, send their kids to school here at XYZ. It's tough for me to say I'm going to employ that person, because then I have to think about what is the additional cost to do that as a small business. So that's just really another thing that's dear to my heart as far as, boosting our economy. And, we need to work on economic development. We, of course, need to make ourselves attractive to larger corporations, but we also need to remain attractive and remember to sow into our small businesses.
For sure. You brought up a lot of great points about small business. We touched on a handful of things here today. But is there anything else you'd like to speak on or add before we hop off?
Well, of course, I would love everyone to support me, but I also want everyone to use their voice and vote, period. This is an important election, and this is an important time in our community and in our country. And so please have your voice heard. Please vote. Please understand the issues. If you have questions, I have people going on my social media all the time. Miss Burrell, tell me, what does this mean? And then we will go over it, whether it is relative to my campaign or not. Um, I have found on the campaign trail, which my team thinks it's hilarious how much I love to canvas, but I love to canvas because I like to talk to people. And with COVID, it's been difficult to talk to people. And so, it's been so nice to educate people and register people to vote and answer their questions on ballot issues and in an unbiased way. I'm so excited civically minded our community is becoming and how important they are seeing their voice is. It is wonderful to me. And so that is something I want to drive home. I can't express enough how important it is for me to see people voting and vote and just voting. I don't know what you're voting for, but I want you to vote. And so please vote, everyone. Everyone in District 27, please vote Keidra Burrell for Senate District 27. And I know that I can do the job. I know that I'm prepared to do the job. And I know that I'm prepared to fight for District 27 because we have great potential, but we have great needs. And I know that our state government can do better by us.
For sure. Just a quick little story. I was researching you yesterday, and I seen your district, and I'm like, oh, El Dorado is within your district.
Yes.
A lot of my family is in El Dorado. My grandmother, great grandmother, and my great aunt. And so I picked up the phone. I'm like, did you vote already? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, who did you vote for? And she was like, give me the names. And I said, Keidra Burrell. She's like, yeah, I voted for her. So you definitely have some support.
Isn't that great? It's a small world,
yes.
right?
Yes, it is. But with that, again, your sound cut out. What were you saying?
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yes.
I said, I've been going to churches. I've been going everywhere I can, for people to get to know who I am and know what I stand for. And I've been well received and have great support so far. So prayerfully, we will make it through the finish line.
Of course, of course. And we at PawPack are wishing you the best. But again, I want to take the time to say thank you for coming on to share your platform and just to kind of discuss who you are. And hopefully it's inspired some people to go ahead and vote now or on November 3rd for you, because we really would love to see you in office and see all the amazing things that you do. So thank you again.
Thank you so much for doing this. And I'm so proud of you as a young student for taking this initiative. This is awesome.
Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. But with that, we'll go ahead and hop off Facebook. So thank you guys so much for watching. We will see you next time.